Why you quit right before success? Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They don't fail because they're not talented. They don't fail because they don't want success. The truth is much stranger. Most people quit right before success because success itself becomes terrifying. Think about that. You could spend years saying you want something, more money, a better body, a business, a relationship, that dream life. But when the things finally start becoming real, something strange happens. You hesitate, you procrastinate, you lose focus, you create unnecessary problems, you start doubting yourself. And eventually, you walk away. Not because you couldn't win, but because winning required becoming someone new. Most people think fear shows up when you're at the bottom. That's not true. Fear is often strongest at the top. Imagine climbing a mountain. At the bottom, you're excited. You have energy. You have motivation. You have hunger. You tell everyone you're going to accomplish it. But as soon as you get close to the summit, something changes. The higher you climb, the greater the fall appears. The closer you get to success, the more real consequences become. At the beginning, failure is just an idea. Near the finish line, failure feels personal. Now your reputation is involved. Your identity is involved. Your future is involved. Your legacy is involved. All of a sudden, your brain starts asking dangerous questions. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not actually capable? But there's another question hidden underneath all of those. A question most people never recognize. What if I succeed? What if I actually get everything I ask for? Because success changes expectations. Success changes relationships. Success changes responsibilities. Many people are more comfortable with familiar pain than unfamiliar growth. The human mind loves certainty, even when certainty is making you miserable. Think about how many people stay in jobs they hate, relationships they hate, environments they hate, habits they hate. Why? Because they're familiar. The known pain feels safer than unknown possibility. That's why people self-sabotage. Not because they're weak, but because part of their mind is trying to protect them from uncertainty. The problem is the mind doesn't always know the difference between danger and growth. To your brain, they're often the same thing. Promotion can feel like danger. Starting a business can feel like danger. Going to the gym can feel like danger. Speaking on camera can feel like danger. Publishing your first video can feel like danger. Yet, none of those things are actually dangerous. They're just unfamiliar. And the mind interprets unfamiliarity as a threat. This is where most people quit. Not because the work becomes impossible, but because the work started producing results. And those results demand transformation. Here's the truth. Every new level requires the death of an old identity. The person who has what you want is not the same person you are today. That doesn't mean you're not worthy. It means you're evolving. But evolution is uncomfortable. The old version of you wants certainty. The new version of you requires courage. The old version of you wants permission. The new version of you takes responsibility. The old version of you wants guarantees. The new version of you acts without them. This is why so many people get close and disappears. The closer they get, the more they realize that success isn't about achieving something. It's about becoming someone. And becoming someone is far more difficult than completing a task. Because tasks end. Identity change doesn't. Once you become a different person, there's no going back. You start seeing the world differently. You start thinking differently. You start behaving differently. And that's exactly what scares people. Not failure, transformation. So what do you do when you feel yourself pulling away from success? First, recognize what's happening. Stop calling it laziness. Stop calling it bad luck. Stop calling it lack of motivation. See it for what it is. Fear of transformation. Second, understand that discomfort is evidence of growth. If you're uncomfortable, you're probably expanding. If you're nervous, you're probably moving forward. If you're scared, you're probably standing near a breakthrough. Third, focus on the next step. Not the entire mountain. Not the next year. Not the next decade. Just the next step. The next workout, the next sales call, the next video, the next chapter, the next action. Because success isn't built in giant moments. It's built in small actions repeated consistently. And finally, remember this. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side of the decision you're avoiding. The opportunity isn't hiding from you. The future isn't hiding from you. Your potential isn't hiding from you. It's waiting for you to stop running. And most people spend their lives inches away from the life they want. Not because they couldn't achieve it, but because they became afraid of what achievement will require. Don't be most people. If you're close, keep going. If you're tired, keep going. If you're uncertain, keep going. Because the finish line you're afraid of may be the beginning of the life you've always wanted. And the tragedy isn't failing. The tragedy is quitting when success was within reach.